So, what are some ways we might use Fatima's new cloth or Kangas in our classrooms?
Well, I was thinking that directly after the reading, it might have been nice if if we would have made the tea together as a direct, right afterwards, a direct relationship.
Yeah, I did. I made the tea with my class one time, and it really worked out nicely. And it tasted great, too.
We also thought, I heard a kid during the presentation talk about making our own Kangas afterwards. So that might have been a neat follow-up.
That's a great idea. Maybe they could start with how originally it started with scarves. They can start doing that, and then later on use other materials. But they could start with scarves.
And they could even put then sayings on the scarves.
Right, yeah.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
I also noticed some kids over, and they went to the maps and started looking for where Zanzibar was.
Right,
So
yeah.
you could get into some kind of geography
Right,
with
yeah.
this.
I was thinking also maybe they could do a role play or a play based on this story and act it out in class. And maybe they don't have to memorize some lines, but they could.
Or even if they made their Kangas, then use the Kangas they made to do some role play.
Right.
Yeah.
This whole idea is intriguing of messages on your clothing, and it reminded me a little bit of T-shirts, which usually aren't so intentional, but sometimes they can be. So I don't know if there's a way to tie this into kind of how we use language when we're not speaking, and looking for all the different ways.
In what ways in the American society we send messages, maybe unintentionally, but these are a little more intentional. Unintentionally, what messages do we send, or intentionally?
Yeah.
By what we wear.
Which makes this type of work particularly appealing for African studies and using this type of text for all the different things that we can make connections with for bringing Africa further into the U.S.
Right.
It was interesting, too, that part of what you talked about with the students was themes, and how themes can be communicated in these kind of short, concise descriptions. And I was wondering more about how this book can be used to think about writing and writing sayings. I don't know what others thought about that.
Right, yeah. So they could be creative and come up with their own stories, just like the role plays, but they could create stories with different themes. Maybe it could be this month is one theme, and they make their Kanga with a message, with messages that go with the theme. And they don't have to make Kangas. Maybe they can draw Kangas also.
On paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Watercolors of some sort.
And it'd be interesting if we could find some more books from East Africa so that the kids can compare just the different, even styles of clothing or the different storylines, and that could be interesting too.
Actually, I know someone who is writing stories in Kiswahili, children's stories, and he gave me some to translate into English. So maybe those are from those stories that he has written, and my translation. I haven't started yet, but I have 3 or 4 already given to me for translation.
And some of the boys got really interested in the male connection of what males wear, Kangas, and the male wear, clothing that they wear.
Yeah, I should have brought something that men wear outside, and I didn't think about it. And they felt left out. They could just do the skirt.
They love
They
that.
liked it, though. They really liked it.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I think the idea of the message could be taken in so many different ways of the connection that kids can make with saying so much in so few words.
Right.
And also the idea of giving a gift. It appeared anyway that often these are given, that you don't normally buy them for yourself unless it's for a specific message you want to send. But the idea of buying to give, you get to give, and them thinking about, well, who do I want to send a message to, and what message is that, and being short and sweet and getting to the point.
Yeah, you're right.
It was impressive how fast they picked up on that, and when they were playing with each other, they were using the messages in different ways to do just that.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of linked with murals. In some places, I think in Philadelphia and before there were graffitis, but now there are murals and messages for maybe education, and so encouraging children to do things. And so for those who are creative or artists, they'll go draw. I think for competition also they do it. So I think there's a link there also with creativity and messages on walls.
Even the cultural connection to the clothing that we wear. They got into why don't boys wear the Kangas more often.
Right.
And I thought that your comment on dresses in America are typically worn by females. But even then a study on
Yes.
clothing in different cultures could be needed. Looking at societal norms with clothing could be a neat connection.
Because there's a lot of cultures where men do wear skirts, and that could be really interesting.
Well, and I kept
Or
hearing,
skirt-like things, wrongs.
right, I kept hearing the boys talking about man skirts.
Yeah.
And I was really curious about
They do
about
in
that.
Scotland.
So I thought that could be a neat tie for them.
Right. And I brought here a book, I think maybe you have it. It's called Kanga 101 Uses. A lot of where you can use the Kanga. So maybe I can give the title to your teacher and you can maybe order if you want. But 101 uses. Other uses, in addition to wearing, you can use them as a tablecloth. You can use them as wall hangings like that. You can use them as curtains. You can use them as a mat. Put them on the floor. Let's put this one on the floor. You can use them on the floor. You can sit down and eat and eat. Like usually people like sit and eat together. You can put that there. But you can also do a lot of things with wearing it, like what I showed. So what's your name? Amy? Okay. Can wear like this and go to sleep with it. You see? Like that could be your night dress. You could wear this at home over your dress and go out and play with it. You see that? Some people come to Tanzania and like they want to go to the beach and to swim. They'll wear like this and go to the beach so that they're a little bit covered instead of wearing skimpy swimsuits. They'll put this on top and do that. I don't want to exclude the men. Okay, come here. The boys. I told you they usually wear this inside the house. Okay, so you will usually wear this inside, and you'll do it like this, like the way I did it earlier. That's how you will wear it. Huh?
It's creepy.
Yeah, but you wear like this. So just stand there, and then maybe another man can come. You wanna wear it too? Good. I'll borrow you mine. So this is. Is it too tight? Okay, so you can stand there. So this will be man wearing. Okay, so you wanna, yeah. They're modeling. You can wear like that. Yeah, so that you can wear something, like you can wear a Kanga here, and you want to do yours?
That looks cool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Actually, this would, they will go together. Like you do this, and then you do this on top so that you cover your back. Otherwise, this one will be backless. So what we'll do is I will put this nasty one behind so that nobody will see the caption, so that your back is not backless. So, so if it is the same, then, so you see, And then you are wearing kind of a nice evening dress. Okay, turn around, yeah. Okay, these are different ways of using the Kanga. My name's Alwiya Omar, and I come from Tanzania. Have you heard of Tanzania? Yeah, I come from Tanzania, from this small island called Zanzibar. Tanzania is in East Africa, and the island I come from is Zanzibar. So if you can look at the map there of Africa and East Africa, and you see that island there, that's Zanzibar. That's where I come from. And Tanzania is made up of two different countries. In 1964, these two countries united to form Tanzania. One of the countries is Tanganyika. Have you heard of Tanganyika before? Tanganyika and Zanzibar. And then Tanganyika and Zanzibar united to form Tanzania. Tan from Tanganyika, Zan from Zanzibar, and we have Tanzania. And that's how we have Tanzania from 1964. But I come from the island, and I came to the US in 1987. That's a long time ago. And I have 3 children. And here at India, I work at Indiana University. I teach in the linguistics program and the African studies program. I teach Kiswahili, and I coordinate the African language program. Today we will talk about Kanga. 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 It's a traditional cloth from East Africa. And as we saw, East Africa there, Tanzania, and also Kenya, the eastern coast of Africa. We have towns like Mombasa and also the island of Zanzibar and other places. These are traditional clothes that women usually wear outside and inside the house. Also in other parts of Eastern Africa, like you go to inland of mainland Tanzania, and also in the central part of Africa, women wear these kangas. They started around the 19th century. How did they start? Women used to use black pieces of kanga, of wrappers before. They were black, the same size as the kanga here, but they were black, and they'll tie them. But some women said, no, we don't want to wear this black clothing. We want colorful one. So they took some scarves, and these scarves used to be called leso. Leso is originally a word from Portuguese, and the Portuguese were in Zanzibar and the coast of East Africa for a while, and they used to have these scarves. And so these women said, oh, we want to have these colorful scarves, and sew them together. So they sew them together and made the kanga. So if you can see, maybe you can you see this picture here? And these are three scarves here and 3 scarves there. 6 scarves make a kanga. And so they sew them together, and then they started wearing those, some women. And then they caught up, and everybody wanted to wear them. And then some women said, we like our black clothing, but maybe we can change it a little bit. So they black, and they put white spots on it. Do you see this one here? Black with white spots. And so then this actually, the name Kanga came into place. First it was leso because of the scarves. Remember scarves? First it was leso, and then Kanga. Kanga, because of the black and white, is a guinea fowl. Do you see this guinea fowl? It's black and white. So people from Zanzibar then refer to this as Kanga. People from Mombasa, Kenya, refer to them as leso. Until now, we have leso and Kanga. Both mean the same thing. But Kanga, it's because of the color, black and white, from the guinea fowl. Then they started without names, without anything, just the prints and the colors. And then later on, some women wanted to be creative, and they said, oh, we can communicate with each other using these kangas. We can do indirect communication. See that people sometimes write things on walls and a message for someone else, and here they were writing on kangas. So they will ask they'll ask these printers, people who are developing, who are making these kangas, we want to have a caption, we want to have a message on our kangas. You can see this is the kanga, and we'll talk about the themes later. But the kanga usually come in two pieces together. You see here, these are two identical pieces. They're together. And usually, like you see how I'm wearing, I have two identical. I can wear like this with a turban. We'll talk about how the different uses. Or you tie around here and cover your head. So there are two pieces. And also, traditionally, when a young woman gets married, she will be given a lot of these kangas, two pieces together, one for herself and one for her husband. But the husband does not wear the kanga outside. It's only at home. So the kanga, the man will wear his piece at home, but the woman will wear it at home and at the celebrations and everywhere else. It's very important when you go buy a kanga. Usually people give these kangas as gifts. When you go buy a kanga, don't just look at the color or the pattern. What you look at is also the message. Because if you buy a kanga that doesn't have a nice message, then you won't be able to give it as a gift, right? So you have to look at a gift. The message I like very much is this one. The way we pronounce Kiswahili words is like the way we write them. So we have a caption there. What does the caption say? Nani kama mama. Excellent. Nani kama mama. And this kind of kanga I will use to give to my mother. Or my child will give it to me. And it says, who is like mother? You see that? Nani kama mama. And usually in our Kiswahili societies, we don't usually go about and say, I love you, like the way you do here, which is excellent. Like you go and tell your mom, I love you, mommy, and your mommy will come and tell you, I love you. We don't usually do that. And so usually we will do something like this. We'll go buy a kanga and say, and give it to the mother, and the mother will be so happy because she received a kanga with the communication of love. Nani kama mama, because that's who's like mother, you are the greatest. You see that? Okay. So that's, sometimes societies are different in the way they show their appreciation, they show their love. And this is one way. So it shows your appreciation, your love for your mother. We don't usually give gifts like the way you give gifts here and also give thank you notes, but we will give gifts of kanga. Another reading exercise. Good. Okay, I have to look at it. Kheri zote zikufikie na shari zikuepuke. Kheri, that's also like blessings, good wishes. Kheri, zote means all good things. Zikufikie should get to you, you should get all good things. Na shari zikuepuke, and all bad things should go away. So get good things and bad things should go away. Oh, you like this? Okay. Since you say you like it, then I'm going to leave this in here for your class. Hey, okay. Okay, let's read it. Good. So you see how easy it is to read, even though you haven't read Kiswahili before, you can read it. Imani is belief ya mtu of a person. Imo ndani is inside ya roho yake, his spirit or his soul. So your belief is inside you. Okay. Great. Wakerekao shauri zao watakufa siku si zao. I don't like this, so I won't give this as a gift. So I'll just read it. Wakerekao shauri zao watakufa siku si zao. So those who don't like it, it's their problem. They'll die before their time. I don't like this, right? It's a nasty one. So, huh? Yeah, that's it. So if that's another thing, yeah, you can give it to your enemy, like because you don't like this person is doing bad things, and then you just buy this kanga and give it to them, or buy it, wear it so that they can see the message, because people argue with each other with these kangas. So they don't argue like that sometimes. They'll wear the kanga, and then the other person will say, oh, that person is saying this message to me. So she'll go and look for another kanga that has a response message, and then she'll wear it. And then the other person will go and find another kanga that, so they'll keep on arguing like that. It's like chatting on the online. You go say something and someone else come back and say something else. But then this is like in kanga. Maybe the next day or the 2 days later, you'll get a response, and then it will go on and on. So Fatuma, you saw Fatuma went to help her mother to do things. And so she went with her to the store. But usually Fatuma will not go and buy. It's usually older women will go buy kangas. When a young girl, like maybe 13 and 14, she will be given kanga by her mother to wear at home, to start getting used to having a kanga. And Fatuma wanted to wrap the kanga like her mother, and I'm going to wrap that for you to see how, but the mother said, you're not old yet to do it like this. So usually young girls will do it like that, okay? Yeah, so, and the mother had the kanga like this. It's kind of hard, but usually with the young girls, it will come off easily. But with the older, so from 13, 14, when the young girls are ready to help at home, cooking, because it has multi-purposes, you can wear like this and go out, or you can wear this and like an apron in the kitchen. You can sit down, and so that you don't mess up your clothes, you can wear the kanga like that. And I'm going to wear this nasty one. So usually it's this. You wear the same thing. Like this one here I'm wearing as a headscarf, but I can wear it like that with my kanga. But sometimes, like as you see with Fatuma's mother, she didn't have time to look for the identical, because you have lots of these, and sometimes you go look, you can't find the identical, you'll take anything. So she had one of this kind, of one kind, and she had the one on top of another kind. And you'll usually do it like that. So you see, is that how the mother has? Yeah, so you wear like that. And this is like the way you're all covered. Usually women are covered when they go out. Sometimes they will wear the black veil. Have you seen maybe on? And sometimes the kanga is in place of that. And you go outside, you're all covered nicely. But usually you wear the same identical kangas, and sometimes you don't. You just use what you have, and you go out with it.